Hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lorie, and today we're going to be reacting to the Genshin Impact version 4.6 special program. We already see our super cute chibi Arlecchino. I'm excited. I haven't really seen anything about this. I've been avoiding social media, so yeah, I have really no expectations. Just can't wait to learn more about Arlecchino and what's to come in the story. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here we go. Why did I say into it like that? Why did I say it like that? What? I don't know. Okay, here we go.
It has been millennia since the fall of Remuria, and its history has long faded into the mists of mythology and superstition. Legends tell of how before the birth of the court of Fontaine, there was an empire known as Remuria. Remurians believed their king Remus would bring eternal prosperity to the islands of the High Sea. However, the God King's seers prophesized discord. The greatest empire will face the most utter destruction. And this is Fortuna.
Cannot stop thinking about Raphael.
Did the God King derive the primordial plan
from
the cycle of the 7 days and winds blowing over sea and land, and composed a splendorous symphony based upon it. He believed that the polities could escape fate's judgment and attain eternal paradise if they harmonized with his perfect symphony. But today, welcome to the Genshin Impact version 4.6 special program! Let's take a look at the trailer.
She's so cute!
On occasion, we hold barbecue dinners at the house. They hunt for food, compete with each other, even cooperate. They enjoy participating in activities like that, and the feeling is mutual. After all, it's always possible certain familiar faces will be missing from the crowd the next time a similar event rolls around.
Something has come up, and since it pertains to Cyrus and Cyno, I deemed it essential to inform you all.
It was a great
Cyno?
plan, shrouded in
Alhaitham was talking too.
We all gathered around and celebrated the revival of our Lord.
That's how I gained my power.
The old man's been putting the pressure on me. He sent someone to tell me I'm needed for some sort of project.
Project Stuja?
Participating in the plan will lose a lot of members in the process.
I did not anticipate we would meet again after presenting you with the Gnosis.
If you accept my proposal, Monsieur Neverlet, unless absolutely necessary, I will no longer carry out any special missions within Fontaine.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What the heck? Her animations look so good. Stop. Are you serious?
Transfixed. Everlasting as the moon.
Oh, that was really cool.
An order once given cannot be rescinded.
Do you have any idea what you're doing? You're hiding the very person Father has been trying to find.
I really didn't mean to drag anyone else into this.
If Father finds out about this, everyone involved is going to be punished.
A traitor. Cyno was chosen, but he was not the only one.
You'd like me to return my power?
I'm really looking forward to this rite of duels. The wisdom of Hermanubis would have been ours.
I want you to become the next king of the house. Yet you seem to have different ideas.
I'm not saying I have all the answers, but doing so will only bring us further away from being a real family.
Your words paint an optimistic picture indeed. Allow me to remind you, however, few among us are willing to sip from a glass filled with tainted water.
I'll make sure it's drained of all impurities and returned to its cleanest form. Good things come to children who do as they're told.
She looks so cool!
I hope you decide to tag along.
There are many dangers ahead, and I, for one, don't intend to back down.
I don't want to disobey an order from Father.
So why? Why have you backed us into a corner?
No demonstration of loyalty shall go unrewarded, and no sacrifice shall be in vain.
That makes me it makes me so sad. She looks so cool, but man, y'all, what is she doing to these kids?
Dun, 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 dun. Hello, everyone. I'm Sarah Miller-Cruz, the voice of the female traveler Lumine. Welcome to the Genshin Impact version 4.6 special program.
Yay! Welcome, everyone!
Yo, welcome!
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that everyone would agree that the House of the Hearth isn't an ordinary orphanage. But just in case you needed any convincing, we've invited their voice actors to share some information with us today.
Hey everyone, my name is Erin Yvette. I'm the voice of Arlecchino, the father of the House of the Hearth. You might also recall that she's a Fatui harbinger known as the Knave.
I feel like I'm not ready
to have been invited to the special program.
I feel like this story is going to
I'm Damon Mills, the voice of Linny, and he's also
really mess me
a
up.
member of the House of the Hearth.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And although he's not a member of the House of the Hearth, we've also brought the harbinger of laughter and cheer, the one and only voice of Arataki Ito.
What up? It's me, Max Middleman.
What is he
Hey, everybody, what's going on? My bros, my guys, my dudes.
Dude.
What is he doing
Are you excited to be here?
Vibes, vibes, vibes.
Vibes for days.
All right, well, without any further delay, let's start introducing the new content from version 4.6. I've heard that travelers will be experiencing new content related to the House of the Hearth in the upcoming version. Erin, why don't you give us a rundown on what sort of organization the House of the Hearth is?
Vibes.
Yes, it would be my pleasure. Based on the most recent intelligence reports, the House of the Hearth is a Fatui intelligence organization operated by the Knave. It takes in children who no longer have a home due to all manner of reasons, and they receive an education in a variety of disciplines. Naturally, at the same time as it provides a home, the children also take on various responsibilities.
Okay.
A variety of
everything
disciplines.
that we already know from the game. Is there more news to hear?
Yes, everyone knows that the House of the Hearth is a rather complicated orphanage, and the Knave, the fourth harbinger of the Fatui, is still hiding many unsolved mysteries. So how about we start diving into all the new information that we have about Arlecchino?
Yeah. Let's do it!
Yes, let's do it!
Okay, first, I want to hear it straight from y'all. What kind of person do you think the Knave is?
Oh, no. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling a lot of pressure right now. This is giving me all sorts of deja vu. I guess during the Fontaine Archon quest, I noticed that Arlecchino was
seriously,
really
how do I
skilled at
answer
directing
this?
the conversation. Her way of speaking was incredibly refined and polite, but she was also incredibly intimidating. I mean, remember how Farina pretended not to recognize her and talked about having nightmares? I totally get where she was coming from. But that's just an outsider's point of view, right? What is the Knave like as a parent? I think Damon is probably the best person to answer that question. Okay, take it away.
Okay, you were hoping that I would be the weakest link?
Yeah.
Well, she's a very strict father.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Strict. All right, it sounds like she gives everyone an intimidating impression.
Yeah, but I think Arlecchino loves all of the house's children equally, and she would never treat them harshly for no reason, though the kids feel a lot of pressure during her lessons and are often scared speechless by her stern attitude. It's probably for their own good. In an organization like the Fatui, these kids actually need to be more mature, tough, and patient than other children who are their age, you know?
That's actually kind of sad, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Who hurt this Knave? I want to know.
Me when I lie, I was like...
Okay, wait. Are you trying to say that she treats the kids like that because she was traumatized?
Ooh, okay. Now that's very sharp of you, but let's keep Arlecchino's secrets hidden for just a little bit longer.
Okay. I do have a question, though. Why did the children call her father?
Well, if you're curious about Arlecchino's past, then you'll have to find your answer in the game.
That's fair.
Her story quest,
we will be doing it,
will be released with version 4.6.
We will be doing it.
I don't want to spoil
as soon as I'm able
by saying too much about her quest, okay? But I do hope that travelers will be able to appreciate Arlecchino's unique charm after they've experienced her entire story.
Yeah. Version 4.6 will also introduce a new feature, the Focused Experience Mode. Now, if you use the feature while playing Arlecchino's story quest, then it will minimize the number of times that you'll be interrupted by characters or quest locations being allocated to other quests. So hopefully this mode will help travelers have a better story experience, you know?
Nice.
That's right.
They did this for the
and
ADHD
in the future,
girlies.
this function will become available for more and more quests.
Besides the story quest, I'm also looking forward to hearing the Knave's voiceover lines because Erin's kind of awesome. We'll finally be able to hear what she thinks about the other Harbingers, too.
Yes, I selfishly also think that will be cool.
Yes.
No, please,
let's take a look at Arlecchino's elegant yet deadly fighting style.
Ooh.
Intrigue!
Yeah!
Staring into my eyes is ill-advised. I can't promise you'll like what you see.
I just
transfixed.
Her idol is a chair? She was that one wing? One-winged angel? I couldn't tell if it was two wings or one. It's one wing!
This is where you fall.
Sephiroth is really in every game.
That was awesome! I like how she glides.
Yes!
Yes. Yeah, she's very elegant. Like, that was a perfect descriptor. Like, elegant but deadly. Like a ballerina of death.
Yes!
A ballerina of
is
death.
so effortless.
I know, right?
Yes. All right, well, if we're going to talk about Arlecchino's combat abilities, then we're gonna have to talk about the Bond of Life mechanic. You might have been a victim to it while you were fighting elite Fatui operatives in Fontaine.
I can't believe that
still
she
remember what a Bond of Life is?
one of her idols is her sitting in a chair. That's
Are you
so
gonna be
funny.
teaching us about her abilities? Guys, you're too loud. Pipe down. Sorry, let's listen to what she has to say.
Wait, I think I remember. It's the red portion of the HP bar.
Oh my
When
god, it
you
looks
have
like
a Bond of
scythe.
Life active, it'll absorb any healing that your character receives. So they can't regain HP until the Bond of Life value has been healed.
Yeah.
Yes,
right?
Very good, student.
Promenade is
when Arlecchino has a Bond of Life greater than or equal to a certain percentage of her health bar, her normal, charged, and plunging attacks will be converted to pyro damage, which can't be overridden by other elemental infusions. And while she's in this state, her normal attacks will consume a portion of her current Bond of Life to deal more damage and reduce the remaining cooldown on her elemental skill.
Whoa. Wait a second.
It's a lot.
So you're saying that she'll deal more damage with her normal attack when her Bond of Life is higher?
Put simply, yes.
Whoa, wait a second. No, wait.
That's
I get
really
it.
cool.
Wait, so Arlecchino can give herself a Bond of Life, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, otherwise she'd have to chase down enemies who can put a Bond of Life on her. Actually, that sounds kind of funny.
I'd like to see that. And that brings us to our elemental skill. Arlecchino's skill doesn't just damage enemies, it also applies a blood debt directive to any enemy that it hits, which will damage them periodically. And when she
it's like
uses
a dot.
charged attack or her elemental burst, she'll absorb nearby blood debt directives. This also allows her to obtain a Bond of Life based on the number of directives that she absorbed. So don't worry, Max.
Oh, I was very concerned.
I know you were.
Okay, hold on. She can't regain HP until her Bond of Life is removed, right? So how does she stay in the fight?
Well, after dishing out damage, Arlecchino's elemental burst will reset the cooldown of her elemental skill and heal her based on her attack and her current Bond of Life.
Oh, okay.
Also, thanks to one of her talents, while Arlecchino is in combat, she gains bonus pyro damage, but also cannot be affected by any healing effects other than the healing provided by her burst.
Whoa, so that seems like she's as ruthless to herself.
Why was she she was phasing in and out there? That was really interesting.
She's kind of a savage. I mean, right. So Arlecchino even has a special
what the heck?
kind
She's
of movement
glitching.
whenever she uses her charged attack, right?
Ooh, that looks perfect for scaring her enemies.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, she's
and
flying.
for putting some serious pressure on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's about time to introduce the event wishes in version 4.6. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
So exciting!
All right. During the first phase of version 4.6, Arlecchino, the Knave, and Linny
I wonder if
will
we should
both
try and get
enjoy
Linny,
a
too.
rate boost. The all-new 5-star polearm Crimson Moon Semblance
'Cause I
will
don't have
also
him.
become available. Also, the Wanderer and Baoji will return in the second phase, so be sure to keep an eye out.
Yay!
Oh my god, is he coming back?
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Okay, so Aaron and Damon, do you have any other news you'd like to share?
He's back!
Actually,
is he coming
I
back?
do.
Is he gonna be the story?
Let's discuss the new weekly boss.
That's right. We were just talking about how the knave shows different faces to her family members and to outsiders, but in special circumstances, she will reveal another side.
Oh my god.
That's right. Are you
Oh my god,
ready
oh my god. I feel like I'm hyperventilating. Please,
Yes,
let him come back in the
I'm
story.
ready.
You're ready. I'm begging. Oh, that's really cool. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, our groceries are here. Oh no, oh god. The dogs. They're gonna start barking again. I'm so sorry, y'all. My dogs. She looks so freaking cool. Is this her song?
Wow. Not even Linny and Fremine have seen this
Hold
side
on, y'all.
of her before.
So the knave is accepting challengers now?
Oh my gosh, she's so elegant, but also super duper dangerous.
Ooh, that feels even more badass with twice the badassitude.
Hey!
It's not so simple to see the knave's other side. She'll appear normally at first, as if she were giving you an ordinary training lesson, waiting to counter your attacks.
Yeah, it seems like she'll dodge all of our attacks like a phantom if we're out of her immediate range.
Yeah, it feels like she's implying that we're all in the palm of her hand.
I mean, you guys know what her personality's like. She doesn't want her children crying or running away from conflict. Instead, she hopes that they'll be able to take the initiative, even if their opponent is their own father. The outside world will not show her children mercy, so neither can she afford to be too forgiving to them. If you do not repay the blood debt directives the knave applies to you, all her attacks against you will be enhanced. But if you manage to out-heal the bond of life, the knave will reward you for repaying this blood debt, and your charged attacks against her will be enhanced.
Don't the bone wings on her back look like spiders?
Yes, that's it.
I like it.
Oh my gosh, it's like she has total control of her prey while she
Not
watches
me
them
missing everything.
struggle
I'm
and
so sorry.
closes the distance. Ugh, it's kind
Okay.
of
Oh,
creepy
I hope,
being the
hopefully I
hunted
didn't
one
miss
for
too
once.
much.
Oh, okay. I think we should stop the introduction here.
Actually,
Let's leave
I think
some space for everyone to experience the
I was
challenge
gonna say maybe it's good that I missed
Wait,
this
so
because
I know
I would
that
like
many
to kind of
travelers
go
will be
in not
wondering
knowing
about
too
this.
much.
The knave's boss form is tied to her story quest. Normally, players would have to progress the story to a certain point in order to participate in the challenge.
Dulcie, no
But
way! Are you
now we
serious?
have a quick challenge feature for weekly Trounce domain bosses.
Yeah.
As long as travelers are adventure rank 40 or higher, they'll be able to challenge her directly by going to the Adventurer Handbook, going to the Domains tab, selecting Trounce domains, and pressing Quick Challenge.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, cool.
It's a nice little shortcut to the battle.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm looking forward to that. That is really valuable information to have. And it also looks like it's my turn to deliver some news. 2 new artifact sets will become available in version 4.6. Fragment of Harmonic Whimsy and Unfinished Reverie. Travelers who are interested in them should stay tuned for more information.
Cool. Oh, you're finished. Okay.
Dulcie,
Wait, how come
you
your
had me
others
going
were
for a
so
second. I was
short?
like,
it wasn't enough for me.
Yeah, give us more.
Okay, I actually do have other news to share.
Ooh.
Yes. In version 4.6, Sumeru City will be experiencing an unsolved mystery. Ooh.
And for some reason,
oh my
Sino's got
god,
mixed up
Sino's
in-
getting a part
Hey,
two!
how did you know about that?
His picture is right there.
Oh, right.
Hold on, y'all.
Oops. Well, Sino wanted to investigate personally because someone involved in the case has a very unique identity, and the two of them share a close connection.
Sounds like there's some serious shenanigans going on.
That's right. Is this a case where we get to use violence if the situation gets too complicated?
Yes.
These
Okay.
are all very good guesses, but I'll offer you one clue that you
Chaos.
probably wouldn't be able to guess otherwise. a mysterious youngster with connections to the mystery will make his debut during the case. And
oh my god,
Cyno's
Natlan.
friends are not
I have a
just
feeling.
freeloaders
Natlan?
who only show up for food. Tainari, Kale, Alhaitham, and Kaveh will all come to support him when he's in a pinch. So yeah, if you want to know more about what happens in this case, then be sure to check out
Not
Cyno's
Wander
second
and
story
Kaveh
quest,
coming
Lupus
back.
Aureus Act 2. Travelers can venture to Sumeru and investigate
After
the
a
secrets
year.
lurking underneath the sands. In due time, of course.
Sarah, you totally delivered. That was great news. Speaking of great news, I think Damon also has some important information to share.
Wait.
Really?
Wait.
Yes.
Wait. What are we waiting for? We've just presented too much information too quickly. Can we take a break, please, so we can digest all of it, please?
Damon.
Please.
He can't keep getting away with
always
this.
do, though.
Getting away with it.
No, Damon, you're right.
I know.
Let's check out the first redemption code before we continue introducing the new content.
That's what I thought.
That was amazing. That's what I thought.
You know what I just realized, y'all? I'm so smart because my dumbass thought that this was live for some reason because I'm so used to watching certain things live. I could have paused it when I went to go and get the groceries. Thank you. I went to rush to get it when I could have paused it because I forgot it's not live. Because I forgot it wasn't live. Yeah, I know, I forgot. Oh. Yeah, that's so funny. Like, I can't believe that. No, I forgot. I absolutely forgot. Completely forgot. But it's fine. It's fine. I think it actually worked because, like I said, I don't want to see too much of the fight anyway.
Welcome back, everyone. So we've already told you the story of Arlecchino and the House of the Hearth. So why don't we continue the story of Remuria, which you saw in the beginning of the program?
I would like this very much, please.
Like, Love and Deep Space has messed this up for me because I keep thinking of Raphael.
A new area of Fontaine will open in version 4.6. Travelers will get to visit the village of Petrichor.
Ooh.
Though, would there even be much to see on such a small island?
Well,
oh, this is actually really cute. This is a really cute little town.
I'm supposed to really confidently say, totally, right?
It is, yeah.
Okay, now that you've mentioned it, there's definitely more to this village than meets the eye, right?
Yeah, I think we're focused on the wrong thing here. This is where the kingdom of Remuria's remains lay at rest. So how big was such a glorious and prosperous nation, really?
Oh, well, now that you say that, I mean, this little town looks a whole lot bigger.
Now that's a neat trick. Anyway, this is where we'll meet a talking cat. With its guidance, we will be able to see the civilization that vanished.
Another talking cat?
What? Oh my god.
Wait, I guess
that's amazing.
Anything for a talking cat.
As
I can't
Aaron
remember, what's
mentioned
that-
at the
that
beginning
black
of the
cat in
program,
Inazuma?
King Remus
That
composed
cat
a
talks.
symphony, one with wondrous
So we
power
already-
that grants
we
the
already
wishes of the
have
human
had a
souls
talking
dwelling
cat,
within.
technically.
Yes, I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
I'm excited, though.
actually-
I love-
do get it.
So
I love
not getting
the
it. That's okay.
peas.
I will explain it in a few words. So you'll just have to learn about the symphony by going on an adventure with this little cat. I'll avoid spoiling the adventure itself, but you'll arrive at the Remuria ruins with the cat. The kingdom's remnants slumber in the depths where the sunlight can't reach. You'll meet a dragon in the deep seas.
What if I...
So you'll be able to obtain powers relating to
What
the
if I
symphony,
actually
which will help you explore
play
the
Genshin
lost
Daily
realm
again?
of Remuria. You'll be able to pause the melody within the realm of this ancient civilization. You can also unseal time in
Just for
places
the
where it
kitty.
stopped.
So these
cool.
powers will let you interact with specific objects in the ruins. You know, that might be useful for solving puzzles during your adventure.
Totally.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, a forgotten statue sits in a recess of the fated castle,
Oh.
silently proclaiming the immortality and glory of a great civilization. It awaits a warrior who would dare challenge the majesty of the ancient ruler.
Oh yeah, that's right. The statue of marble and brass will soon be coming as a boss. You can earn all sorts of materials if you manage to beat it in a challenge.
Yeah, I'm so hyped for it.
Oh my gosh, yes. And Damon, you did such a great job with introducing it.
That was great. That was great, Damon. Wait, but real quick question. How do we even get to such a remote little island?
That is a great question. Travelers who have already completed the 3rd act of the Archon quest, Song of the Dragon and Freedom, will automatically unlock a teleport waypoint in the village of Petrichor.
Ooh,
Hopefully this helps travelers with exploring the new area.
I've heard that this feature will return for many new areas in the future.
So exciting.
I know.
Good.
So
Good.
cool. All right, that's all the information that we have about Fontaine for now.
And now, outside of the region, ...
It seems like a new style of rock and roll is getting popular in Inazuma.
Rock and roll.
Yeah! All right, let's all take a short break before we get into the next section.
This is where Ito's coming in, I guess.
Take a look at today's 2nd redemption code.
Yeah!
All right. Do we already have the redemption codes in Discord, by the way? Oh, this is cute. This is really giving Kokomi vibes. We do? Okay, cool. Thank y'all. Thank you, Aiden. Y'all, I'm still thinking about Wander. I'm like, please show up in the story of begging. There's gotta be a reason why he's rerunning, right? It's not just random. I literally have missed him so much. Hi, Fayus, how are you? Yeah, because these expire pretty quick too, right? I need to make sure that I redeem them today.
Welcome back, everyone!
Hey!
Okay, I hear that a musical tour is coming to Inazuma, and the organizer is none other than Arataki Ito himself!
Oh, you get a free Goro this one?
Max, would you like to tell us more about it?
It would be my absolute pleasure, compadre. So, I got a question. Does everyone still remember Dvorak?
Of course! He participated in last year's Lantern Rite.
Marco's character's coming back!
Kita and Shinyan performed
Heck
there.
yeah!
That's right. And this time, it's an epic tour for the ages organized by none other than
Oh
Ito and Dvorak.
my
Oh,
gosh,
that's
and even the concert name
awesome!
sounds really epic.
Yeah, yeah. No, the way he says, iridescent Arataki rockin' for life tour de force of awesomeness really gives off the feeling of rock and roll.
Wow.
And the theme of this concert is about life. Specifically, it's about a brave puppy who saved the lives of countless other creatures on the path.
A brave puppy.
Aww, that's so cute.
Adorable.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I really hope the Music Festival of Life will inspire everyone to unleash their own rock and roll spirit. Yeah. And I'll let you in on a little secret. Ito himself will personally be performing on the big stage.
What? Oh my gosh, that's gonna be awesome.
Yes, it will be. And here's more exclusive news for you. Dvorak will be giving away a brand new musical instrument
we
to
get
our
another
travelers
instrument!
called the Night Wind Horn.
Ooh.
So if you enjoy playing music in real life, or especially if you enjoy playing music in the game, be sure to check it out.
I'm looking forward to seeing more amazing performances from all the great musicians out there.
Are you now? Well, since you're so excited about it and the festival, why don't you help launch the Arataki Rockin' for Life Tour de Force of Awesomeness? Yeah, I'll try to. All right, there's 3 steps to preparing for the festival. Number 1, Extreme Carnival Ensemble. We can practice getting into the flow with some rhythm games.
Yes,
while the stage is still
rhythm
coming
games
together.
are back.
Wow, those keys look really unique.
Yeah, they really are. And the second task is called the Trillion Trinket Trawl. Say that 3 times fast. The Trillion Trinket Trawl, the Trillion Trinket Trawl, the Trillion Trinket Trawl. I did it. We can't have a rockin' music festival without a rockin' venue. So, travelers will be helping Dvorak spruce it up with his list of items.
It's a piece of cake, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And lastly, we have the Meeting of Melodies. Can't have a party without adoring fans, so we gotta invite fellow music lovers to come jam with us. After listening to their tunes, we can restore the missing music notes.
Oh, so we'll be able to hear them sing. That is super exciting.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the point. Music gets you pumped. And after we've rocked out to the pure spirit of music awesomeness in Inazuma, over in Mondstadt, they'll be dancing to a tense and thrilling tune.
Hold up, hold up. What do you mean by tense and thrilling?
Does it mean anything if I say Wind Trace, Seekers and Strategy has finally arrived?
Wind Trace! Yes! I love Wind Trace. And yeah, it can get a little tense at times.
Well, the new name implies that the game has undergone some mechanics changes.
I gotta...
Yeah, you're correct.
I gotta get
very
with
intuitive of you.
Angela,
you'll be playing hide
Ying,
and seek
and Ren
as
again
rebels
for
and
another
hunters,
Wind Trace
just
collab.
like before,
Because the last
but there
time we
are a
did
few
Wind
new
Trace, it was
rules.
so funny.
When rebels are captured for the first time, they'll be exiled to the surveillance zone for a short period of time. Now, they will be automatically freed after their time out, but also their friends can try to help them escape the zone early. But if you get sent to jail twice, you're permanently deleted from the game.
Ooh, that does sound tense and thrilling.
Right?
And that's not all. Oh no, each round will have 6 signaling devices, which will prevent nearby rebels from disguising or concealing themselves. The rebels' goal is to repair these devices while also avoiding capture. Once they repair 4 devices, they win the match. Oh, and rebels can work together to repair these devices. And hunters will either need to prevent the rebels from repairing the signaling devices, or they can simply eliminate their opponents.
If you team up with friends, then watching these games should be a blast.
She gets it. She gets it.
That
But
seems
the
like
next
it's gonna
part
be
is
hard.
even more thrilling. When rebels are fixing a signaling device, the device being repaired will enter the high-speed signaling state. What does it mean? It means it'll give off a light visible by every player in the area. In fact, the device will even be marked on the minimap.
No!
Okay, so that means that repairing the devices will expose your location.
That sucks!
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be so
it's
hard!
these sort of unexpected risks that can be the most nerve-wracking. This is gonna be super interesting to play.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And in another event, travelers will receive a rather strange commission.
What do you mean, rather strange?
What I mean is, there's a chef who's famous for using unusual ingredients, and he wants to make friends with a Pyro Regisvine.
Food delivery?
Oh yeah, and not just a Pyro Regisvine, he also wants to befriend a Primo Geovicia, and a Jade Plume
it's not the
Terror
food
Shroom,
delivery.
and the Millennial Pearl Seahorse.
Huh?
You guys heard me the first time. Yeah, I thought you would react this way. Anyway, a chef recently returned from a trip to Natlon, and he started getting some ideas. He thought he should toughen himself up by having his own companion. You know, just like how people from Natlon have Saurian companions.
That makes sense.
Ooh, I like that we're bringing in more
did you say that he came
Natlon stuff?
back from Natlon?
Heck yeah.
Listen, Damon. If you want to know the details, go check out the event when the version is live, all right? But for now, it's time for me to introduce the gameplay.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
We hear you.
All right, you got it.
Hi,
You got
In
it.
this challenge,
Thank you.
you can adjust the difficulty and your negotiation strategies. If you've got the guts, then you can take on fearless difficulty. You can also talk to Ranjit to adjust the number of negotiation strategies. So if you reduce them, it amps up the challenge difficulty, giving you the perfect opportunity to test your skills.
Cool.
Both active strategies and
You know what this
long-term
kind of reminds me
strategies are
of
available.
a little
You
bit?
can trigger active
Does anyone
strategies
remember
at will.
that
However,
Regisvine,
your opponent's HP and level will change
events
depending on the
in
number of
Dragonspine?
strategies that you've picked.
It's forever ago.
Yeah, so you've got to choose your favorite strategies to come out on top. Play to your strengths.
Wow. It reminds me of that.
And moving on, travelers should be familiar with our next event, Vibro Crystal Applications.
Oh, this
it
one.
seems like the event involves connecting different vibrating crystals in order to generate different effects.
Yeah, didn't we? I think
Aaron,
we did
I
this
am
before as
so
well in the
impressed by how
past.
intuitive you are.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. That means
That is
so much
incredible.
coming from you.
Yeah, well, I meant it. Each round requires 2 teams. Before each battle, you can set up Vibro Crystal harmonics plans
I
for
think
each of your teams. This will
I mean,
allow you to receive different combat
I think the first one was in the
buffs where you
chasm.
combine transmitter crystals and receiver crystals.
Basically, the transmitter crystal decides the trigger condition, while the receiver crystal determines the buff that your team gets as a result.
Oh, I remember
By
this.
connecting them in different combinations,
I think
you can
I'm pretty
create
sure that we
varying
did this
harmonic
before.
effects. It's
And I
your
like
custom
I
buff
pushed
plan.
whatever button.
Spot on, Saramela
I
Cruz.
didn't really.
And you gain a harmonic point for each time that you trigger a harmonic effect. You can get even more
Yeah,
combat
this looks
bonuses
like the
if you
chasm.
accumulate enough harmonic points.
But I do think it
will have
seems like it
different
teleports
trial
you,
characters.
thankfully.
So you can choose the
you're not
harmonic
having
buff
to
that works best for your
actually
team
go
setup.
down there.
Be sure to maximize your points if you want to exchange them for rewards.
Nice. Also, the Genius Invocation TCG event, the Forge Realms Temper, will be returning in version 4.6. The Heated Battle mode will also receive an update, so don't miss out, duelists.
And there's going to be an overflowing mastery event, so you can more easily train up the characters who need the extra boosty boost.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Max. You just did an amazing job.
That was impressive.
Thank you,
introducing all
Sarah.
that.
Oh, thanks,
And
guys.
since you introduced so many events in one go, I feel like you deserve a little break.
You know what? Yes, you agree?
I was gonna say, I agree.
too.
I
I'll
agree.
agree.
So how about now, let's check out the
last redemption
code.
Redemption code. Yeah, YouTube seems to think that I have Shenyun as well. This is looking pretty good. I'm actually excited about quite a bit in here, and it will be an even better update if Wanderer is in this story or in some event or something. Even better. Because I feel like they haven't reran characters in the past unless they're involved in the story, right? Or am I making that up? Senor Banner when? Oh no! Is actually a really good unit to have if you built her. Yeah, I missed out on her, but at this point I'm just like, I've missed out on quite a few characters and...
Welcome back, everyone.
It's all good.
Next up, we're presenting some information about improvements for different in-game systems.
Nice.
First up, we have some updates for the Serenity Pot, such as the Quick Obtain feature. Instead of having to navigate a bunch of menus, you can use this feature to put all missing furnishings into a queue, where you can use one click to purchase any missing components and then craft your desired piece.
Wow.
I don't remember the last time I've been to my
actually
teapot.
sound very convenient.
So convenient, so convenient. The avatar system will also be updated, so you'll be able to use more portraits of your familiar friends as your profile display.
No!
That's fun.
Oh, that mask is Hanachiru Sato, isn't it?
Real one!
Oh, and there's Arama
You bet.
and the Thunderbird.
Get off of that!
And more. This is amazing.
Sorry,
So many
Real.
more. I'm sure
Shut
lots of travelers
up.
like
Get me out of here.
Treasure
Why would they do
compasses
that?
have also been updated. Its markers will be displayed on both the large map
That's
and the mini
disgusting.
map. The
That's
compasses will also
disgusting.
include information about different map layers.
Sweet.
Way more intuitive.
It's time to eradicate all the maps with 99% exploration progress.
Heck yeah.
Wait, what?
Exploration!
Eradication.
Now that we've gone over
Eradication?
some updates to the game systems, it's time to talk about some Genshin Impact soundtrack news.
Let's go music!
Yeah, that's right. Genshin Impact's third Fontaine OST, Cantus Aeternus, will debut during version 4.6. This album features original music created by the Hoyo Mix
Wait,
team
what?
for the new region of Fontaine and related
I didn't hear what that was. What are they doing to
Music
make
is my
it easier to
favorite.
100% maps?
Oh no, y'all!
Oh, it's
It looks
done.
like there's nothing left for us to present. I know. So I think that means it's time for this special program to come to a close.
Say it's not so.
Is there anything else that y'all would like to share with all the travelers who are watching?
Yes.
What? We need to have an answer right now in this moment?
It's okay. You've got
Now.
this. You got this.
Okay. I'll make
go.
it
Oh,
easy
the treasure
and
compass.
just be very
Oh,
selfish
cool,
and say that
cool.
I'm just so incredibly
I like
excited
that.
for Arlecchino. We did a lot of work with her. I think she's really cool, and I can't wait for everyone else to see how cool she is.
She's so cool.
totally.
She's so freaking cool, and I love the whole quest and everything secret that I can't talk about right now.
Secret.
But I am also really excited for that and Linny's involvement in said things, and that's all I'm gonna say right now, guys.
It's so hard to talk about this without spoiling anything,
I
but I'm
know.
so excited for you guys to experience this concert. It is so good, and all I can say is that I had more fun recording for this part of Genshin Impact than I've had in a long time recording. So,
oh my gosh, that's amazing!
No way!
Wow,
I hope he
excited
beatboxes
for all
again,
those
to be
things
honest.
Too, and I'm also really pumped for the Wind Trace Festival because I love it so much. And it sounds like there's a ton of awesome things coming in version 4.6. So I hope everyone's excited.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Yay! Wow, okay, I just have to say, this was so fun being here with you today.
I'm so glad I got to be here with you guys.
This was such a great time. So thanks for being here, and I think that's all we've got for this program. So we will see you all in game.
See you guys in the game.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
I love you. Bye.